Hi guys, welcome to tutorial 6, question 1. I look ridiculous, bro. I look so ridiculous. I'm recording this in reading week, okay? My mom just saw me and made fun of me. I'm just saying, I hope this is worth it. um, but anyways, I'm gonna put the question right over here. We'll go through it together. We'll attempt it yourself and all. I think this is the first time we're giving you a coding question of a kind. Do it in Python. Honestly, it's easiest, and we all know it the best. And yeah, and then we'll go through it together. All right. So first things first. Let's do one. We gotta do it. We gotta break it up in chunks. That's how I do it, to be honest with you. Let's do it with a base case when there's no elements in the list. Like, you know how there's a parameter given LST list in majority. Let's say, what if list doesn't have any, like, it's a length of 0. So I'm gonna do if length of list equals 0, return none, because there is nothing to return, right? And then you think to yourself and you're like, okay, I got the next base case. What if I do 1? If the length of list is 1, and then you're gonna return that one. And I think these are the easy things you can knock out of the way first things first. So yeah, that's kind of my base case for this coding part. All right, so after doing the whole base case thingy-majigger, I like to, because I'm trying to do this in a recursive manner. I'm gonna break it up. I got a list. I don't know how many things there are, but I'm gonna assume it's more than 1, because we already took care of those cases. Forgot English. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna dedicate a variable called middle. I'm gonna grab the list that I got. I'm gonna get its length, and then I'm gonna divide it by 2. Chop it off by half. Now I know what you're gonna tell me. You're gonna tell me like, oh Dan, what if it's odd? How are you gonna do that? We're gonna use that double division thingy-majigger in Python. You know what it is. I'm gonna put it over here. If you don't, you can find the docs online. Don't at me. But then yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to dictate a middle section, and then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to recursively call this majority function on everything on this left side of the list, and then I'm going to make another recursive call of majority on the right side. So after doing that, now I got to take care of 4 things, and I'm going to tell you what they are. The number one thing I got to take care of is, okay, fine, what if left equals to none, because we do have a case where it equals to none, right? The second case is, what if right equals to none? Same thing as, we got to take care of it. And then the third case is going to be, what if left is some number, right? And the fourth case is going to be, well, when right is some number. We got to take care of all these 4 things. Now, before we get to them, let's assume, well, let's just say, for the sake of the argument, there exists a helper function called isMajority. Again, give me a minute. I will make one, but just for the sake of the argument, there is a function called isMajority that checks if the element that we give it, like let's say we pass it an element and we pass it a list, it checks to see if the element we gave it is the majority in the list that we gave it. And when we do that, for the first case, when we said when left is none, we can return if the right one. We can return if the right one is the majority with the help of our helper function isMajority. So we're going to say return isMajority list and then right. We're going to do the same exact thing if right is equal to none. We're going to do the same thing, but instead to the left one. Now, what if they are not nones, right? Then if the left one is some number, we're going to say, all right, fine. We're going to put the isMajority call in the if statement. We're going to say, if isMajority list left does not equal to none, then return left. And then else, we're going to do the exact same thing, but the opposite, just for the right one. Again, I'm going to put the code right here so you can read it over, pause the video, just so you can understand it. I'm going to put it right over here. Now, on top of that, we got to define what isMajority is. But like I said, it's very simple. I'm going to check to see if I'm going to get the list. I'm going to count the number of times this element has happened in it. And if it's bigger than half of the length of the list, I'm going to return the element. If not, I'm going to return nothing. I'm not going to return a Boolean kind of thing. I thought about that, but it doesn't matter. It depends on how you design it. But I want to return the element rather than that, returning true or false. By looking at what I've designed, again, the code should be here. But looking at what I've designed, we know that the is majority has a runtime of theta n, right? Because it has to. If you take a look at the calls we made, list.count, and how that operates, you're going to see that it is theta n, and it goes through every single element of the list. And if you look back on the overall majority function, you see that it has a runtime of theta of log n, because it doesn't necessarily go through everything. It just, recursively calls, sub calls, and all that. And, but that's minus the is majority calls. When you add the is majority calls and all that together, majority with is majority is going to have a runtime of theta of n times log of n. And that's pretty much it. That's how I've designed my code. Is over here. Again, if you don't understand it, pause the video, read it over, and honestly revisit a few minutes ago to understand it a little bit better. If anything, just email me. But yeah, that is all for this question. And to be honest, for this week, because this week we only had one question, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Happy Halloween, by the way.